Back to our coverage of the deadly mass shooting in Maine, where the town of Lewiston still trying to come to grips with what happened Wednesday night. 18 people were gunned down at both a bowling alley and a restaurant. And the search for the gunman is still going on, now entering its second full day. Homes, businesses, schools, all on lockdown as police are still working to find the man responsible. We're bringing in Fox 61's Brooke Griffin now. She is live in Lewiston. Brooke, seeing some reports that as many as 100,000 people in that area might be on lockdown, which might remind a lot of New Englanders of the lockdown in 2013 after the Boston Marathon bombings.
Yeah, it's very similar. In fact, the FBI agents, I'm going to step out of the way and let you kind of look at what's happening here. It's not much, but the FBI agents and the ATF agents that were involved in the Boston bombing case are actually involved in this one too. The same people that tried to take down those brothers and eventually did catch those suspects, they are the ones that are involved in this one as well. Now that, again, it's very similar here. We are seeing a lot more people out and about here in Lewiston and in surrounding areas. As of this morning, as we were driving in, there's a lot more cars on the road. We are not seeing a lot of businesses open still. It still seems to be that a lot of things are shut down just to keep people from coming into this area. But a lot of people are out and about this morning. That's much different than it was yesterday. As you can see here, though, if we're looking at the video, I'm not sure, but it's a different world up here in Lewiston right now. This is something that is almost unprecedented for really any city, but it's definitely unprecedented for here in Maine. They've never, they told me, had anything like this happen before.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, it's Brooke, I can only imagine, as we said, 18 people dead. That's the same number as how many homicides there were in all of Maine in all of the year 2021. And I can't even remember sort of the last time we've had a mass shooting of this magnitude where the shooter wasn't either killed, committed suicide, or apprehended within hours. Have you gotten a chance to talk to any of the people in that Lewiston, Auburn area? What they're saying to you, just, you know, the ordinary people out there on the street?
Yeah, and excuse me, I am having to move bugs out of my face. It's very natty over here. So excuse me as I do have to do that while we're talking. But yeah, so we've actually been talking to a lot of people at this point. I am going to step off camera just because there's a lot of bugs right there. I'm so sorry. But we've been talking to a lot of people. I even heard people in my hotel this morning talking about this and this only. This is all this community and really the state of Maine. Honestly, I dare to say a lot of people even across the country are talking about at this point. These people are scared, quite frankly. A lot of them that I've spoken with, they say that they are scared to leave their house, but they maybe have to because they need that money from that job if it's not closed, or they need something from the store if they can even find a store open. Yesterday, all of the Hannaford grocery stores up here were closed. All of the Cumberland farms, all of the local gas stations, everything is closed. So people really, if they're going somewhere or trying to go somewhere, it's not really been all that successful at this point. But a lot of them don't want to. They're telling me that they're terrified to leave the house because the fact is, Robert Card, that suspect that killed 18 people and injured 13 others, he's still on the run. We thought maybe last night for a brief minute this was over. We thought his house, you know, he was inside that house. We all watched. I watched for hours as they tried to find him, see if he was in that house, but that just ended up not being the case. Everyone thought they were going to be able to breathe easily. That's what I've heard over the past 12 or so hours. And now that's just not the case. Everyone is back to being fearful and back to not wanting to leave their homes at this point.
We are expecting an update from Lewiston City Hall in about 30 minutes at 10 o'clock. Do we have any other updates to give now in terms of the search? Like you said, you were there in Bowdoin. We thought it was going to end last night. It didn't end.
No, it didn't. And that's the thing is right now law enforcement is having to really walk a very tactical line. We've not gotten a lot of information from them. They've had 3 press conferences so far. Actually, several police cars are driving by me right now going into the scene. Hold on, let me just show you this real quick. There is some camera crews to our left right now. They are kind of blocking the shot, but I want to show you this. There is Melrose, what maybe looks like a state police, and Salem police. I think that's all Massachusetts, all going into this scene right now. This is, again, we're at the bowling alley right now, or at least kind of in the entrance near it. So this is a heavy police presence, 3 different cars going into this scene right now. They don't have lights or at least sirens on, so it doesn't seem like an imminent emergency. But this is a lot of what we're seeing. Again, we're seeing a lot of police going in and out. We're seeing them go through the town. This is something that is not even remotely over at this point, but we are still waiting to get details. So we know police are on these scenes, but we're not getting a lot of information, and that's partially because I know law enforcement doesn't want to jeopardize their own investigation. They don't want to give away any information to Robert Card if he is on social media, if he is looking at his phone, looking at the news, watching us as we're telling these stories, or even just looking at anything. He's everywhere on these news stations right now. He's everywhere on social. The last thing we want to do is jeopardize their investigation, and law enforcement is not giving us a lot of information, I would say, likely due to that point. We just don't want to make this any harder than it already has to be. So we are expecting a news conference at 10 o'clock. Not sure what it is we're going to get from that. There's a couple different city officials that plan to be there, so of course we're going to stream that live. We'll be there. We'll have a lot of information. We'll see if there's anything at all that's been updated. Back to you.
All right, Brooke, thank you. We will find out in the next half hour or so. We appreciate the work you're doing up there.